Hi there, this is Stephanie Brandt Cornais from MamaandBabyLove.com, and I want to show you today a healthy version of Mexican lasagna. I saw a video, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago online, and the recipe looked really good and yummy, but I knew that there would be a few tweaks that I could do to make it even healthier. The original recipe called for beans instead of meat, and you can do things to beans like soak them, and it will reduce the phytic acid amount in the beans, but there's still going to be some phytic acid. There's really no way to totally get all the phytic acid out. So I did grass-fed ground beef instead, and I did a pound, and that's just a great way to get a ton of protein and nutrients. And then the recipe called for bottled salsa. I have a ton of tomatoes in my garden right now, so what I did is I just pureed a bunch of cherry tomatoes and added a little bit of salt and pepper. And then for this green salsa, it's cilantro, spinach, and a jalapeno. And the original recipe called for jalapeno cheddar cheese, but since I use raw cheese and I don't have the option of getting flavored raw cheese, I just used regular raw cheddar and then added a jalapeno in the green salsa to make up for it. And then the original recipe had just regular white flour tortillas, and what I'm using is sprouted corn tortillas from a company called Food for Life. And when you sprout something and soak it like a grain, it reduces the phytic acid and makes it easier to digest and not messing with your absorption of other nutrients. And so it's really easy. So it's called Mexican lasagna, and you just layer it in. You take your tortilla and put it in first, and then you'll take your meat and put that on top, and then you'll go with the salsa or fresh tomato puree. And if you want to maybe mix tomato puree and with a jar of tomato sauce, if you don't have a ton of tomatoes, that's fine too. You always just make do with what you can, using the freshest ingredients possible. And then I also salt the tomatoes one more time because I just like a lot of salt on my tomatoes, and I use sea salt. So I'm just going to salt that up. And this is a great meal to freeze. So I'm assembling this right now. I cooked the beef, but I'm going to not put it in the oven. I'm just going to put it straight into my freezer and then pull it out whenever I want to cook it. And then I add the cheese. And I like to use these glass pans here as opposed to a disposable aluminum or some other non-stick option. Glass has no chemicals in it, and so nothing's going to leach into your food when you're cooking it. So there you have it. It's real simple. You just layer it all up, and then you put your lid on it, and you put it in the freezer, and the day you want to cook it at 350 for about 30 minutes. All right, thanks so much. See ya. Bye.